Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Creative Katie here. Today we have coffee gift card pillow boxes. This is the first in my Mixed Media Meets Craft Fair series. Today I'll be featuring my coffee or tea sentiment packs. You can get a hold of me and get more information at creativekatie@gmail.com. Here's what the coffee or tea sentiment pack contains. You can stop it here and take the information if you want. So I'm going to show you one way that I've used these coffee stickers. And I will put a link to the video where I've used them to make 4x4 magnets as well, so you have some more ideas. So I purchased a cut file from Silhouette for a pillow box, and I played with the size. There I'm showing you the Nikapa cutting mat. I love it. It is an off-brand, but it works so well. So I highly recommend it. I'll put a link to that in the description box. So I played around with the sizes and I cut these pillow boxes and these cups out of 7x10 Canson mixed media paper. Okay, I didn't want to waste that little piece, and I know myself, if I put that little bit there to use it later, I'm never going to. So it just made more sense to cut them all. So once I cut the whole stack, and I'm doing this for the craft fair, I'm doing it, kind of assembly line fashion. So I spent all the time cutting them. Now I'm making all the pre-folds, and I find that's helpful before you put paint. So there I'm showing how I've utilized the excess of it. So I have these embellishments that in this case I'm using for this particular video, but they can be just stacked away, put into a little Ziploc bag, and used for embellishments on little 4x4 canvases or 8x10 canvases or what have you. But they're all cut out and I'm not wasting paper. So I am putting the paint, this is acrylic Liquitex Basics paint, onto these mixed media cutout pillow boxes. Now, you can purchase pillow boxes from Amazon at the craft store and do the same, but they're already assembled. So this, using it as getting the cut file allows you to work on it flat, which is way easier because you don't have to allow for drying time between doing one side and the next, and you don't have to worry about getting paint on the back side. So I've decided I'm going to do the cups and use up the paint as I go, and I kind of changed my thinking on that because I didn't know what colors I wanted the cups, so I would probably wait next time and do them after because I ended up repainting some of them. And I'm using two colors, either colors that I know mix well, like the light blue permanent and yellow green. Here I'm using the light blue permanent and the Prussian blue. And I'm getting kind of a mottled look. I don't like to just put one color. It just looks too flat and uninteresting to me. So here I'm using Naples yellow and medium magenta, and I was hoping to get a nice coral color, which I did. And I'm just applying this with a dollar store makeup sponge. Now, one side of this mixed media paper is a little smoother than the other, and I can feel the difference. It's not such a difference that I would absolutely say make sure you do it on the smoother side, but depending on the paper you have, give it a try and see. So here I'm using the medium magenta and the blue, and just different color combos. So when you're doing something for a craft fair, you want to maximize the time you do. So if you do things assembly line, here I'm doing 4. I probably, if I was just doing it for the craft fair and not making a video, I may have done more because you're minimizing the cleanup, the mess that you make, the drying time. You don't have to wait for things to dry. So now I'm grabbing some stencils, and this is a new stencil, and I cannot remember the name of it. I can go back. Native Star. And I believe it's a Rebecca Meyer stencil from the Crafters Workshop. And I'm just using the Prussian blue, which is one of the colors, and just adding a little bit of that design on there. So this is a great way of using the stencils, and using the makeup sponge, such an easy way of doing it. This one's called Orb Mandela, and another one by Rebecca Meyer, and it's again one of the summer 2019 stencils. So here I was going to put white, and I kind of wished I had, but I decided, oh, I'm going to see about putting gold on. And it gives a very faint look. But it really wasn't giving me much bang for my buck. So, well, you'll see what I end up doing. I think the coral color really would have come out if I had just stenciled with white, which was my first instinct. But sometimes you get another idea and you want to give it a try. So then I decided, you know what's going to look good here? A burgundy. And I don't have a burgundy, so I ended up taking quinacridone magenta, adding a little bit of black to it. And while I've done that before, I'm not sure if my color mix was off. And here I'm using the Orb Mandela, just the bigger one. But I really didn't like the coral color with the peach. I mean, it looks okay, and I'm sure somebody is going to love it, but it wouldn't be something that I would willingly, wantingly try to repeat. But if you don't try, you don't know. So, experiment with different color combos. This one's called Screen View. It's another one by Rebecca Meyer. And I'm just doing the Prussian blue over that. So all the colors that I chose to work with right now, they all work well together. So another tip when you're doing things assembly line. I wanted to add a little bit of more detail to these. So I grabbed my archival ink, black, and grabbed my script stamp, and I'm just stamping on top of that the script. And that's just giving it a little bit more detail in a very quick, easy way. Now I'm stamping it in this orientation because at this time I was going to make them vertically. I ended up doing the orientation horizontally, but it really doesn't matter because the script isn't something I intend to read. It's just adding detail to the background. This script stamp is from Darkroom Door, and I love it. It's a nice size script. Here I'm stamping into the gold paint and stamping a little bit of the script stamp with the gold paint. And that just looks so lovely on with the Prussian blue and that pink combo. And then I just spray my Murphy's Oil soap on there and just give a quick clean. This one is Dotted Ring, and it was 2019 winter, and it's another Rebecca Meyer stencil that I love. Most of what I've used here are the 6x6 stencils, but the Crafters Workshop makes them 12 by 12 and 6 by 6. And I'm just adding, connecting them roughly where they would be to extend. I have gold paint on my craft sheet, my media mat, and so I'm just splattering with gold. And again, I'm going to splatter all of them with gold that I want to splatter. So again, when you're doing an assembly line, you just do all the splatters at the same time. So I will be making more pillow boxes, different themes, different sizes, and some of those, if they're different enough, I will post a video. So if you are making for craft fairs and you want to see what I'm making, be sure to subscribe to my channel and select the option of being notified of upcoming videos. And you can do that by clicking on the bell. If you're already a subscriber, check to see that that setting is set. So now I'm taking some of the stencils and adding details to my little cups. So I'm looking on the stencils and finding a motif that I think might look interesting on a cup. And then I'm just stenciling it again with a makeup sponge. This one is a new one by, again, Rebecca Meyer, pine needle print. And I like that tiny little motif in there, so I end up putting that on the cup. I just love how these little cups turned out. This one's wallflower, and I love that little motif again. This one is a Carmen Medlin one, new from summer of 2019. I mean, winter 2019. But I love that little heart motif. And then I'm edging them. I have this paint, the darker paint, I have the Prussian blue, and I end up edging the coffee cups. And I believe the coffee cup was either a free cut file that I got off somebody's blog, or it was one that I purchased off of Silhouette. I've had it for a while. But you can look through free printables and clip art and get a coffee cup that you like and just use that shape. There's the native star. I'm just using the small one. And I decide, instead of going here, I still have them set up vertically, and I like stacking these cups. So I played with all the cups and the colors that I had. This one's fantastical. It's from from winter 2019. And I will put a link to the TCW Shopify store. If you shop through their store, I get a small commission, just like Amazon, but you'll get 5% off of that price. So check it out and see if it works for you. So then I decide I'm going to change the orientation. So I'm overlapping these coffee cups, and I had cut out the strips for the coffee sayings. that I have that are part of the coffee or tea sentiment pack. And again, I didn't want to have to cut these too far apart, and sometimes in my mixed media I'm cutting them into individual words. I wanted this to be fairly quick and easy. Decided to go with a gold cup here, so just adding the same motif. And sometimes that you want to wait till afterwards while you can do all these coffee cups ahead of time. It may not work with the pattern that you have in the background. So sometimes doing it ahead isn't the easiest way. And I'm just gluing these down with gel medium. And it's a matte finish. So if I don't cover the whole surface, not a little bit, it doesn't just show shiny. Now you can take this exact same orientation, idea, sentiment, coffee cup, and put this on a 5x7 canvas board or canvas or a 4x4 fridge magnet. So you can take this idea, even the stencils, the colors, all that, and do it on a different substrate or background. And I'm just, when I glue these down, I'm making folding where they fold to make sure that I am not gluing on top of um, the perforated part that I'm going to need to fold. So I'm always double, triple checking that. And that one went a little bit long, so I had to cut it, but I'm minimizing the work by keeping the strips together. So I'm using my fine line bottle and I am just outlining the sentiments. And I thought this was black, but I realized probably at this point that it was Prussian blue. And it looks Prussian blue on this one. All the other ones have blue in the background, so it just kind of fits in quite nicely. If you don't have a fine line bottle, you can use a micron pen or gel pen. And here I just use a white gel pen, just add a little bit of outlining around these coffee cups. Just make sure everything is dry. The gel medium's dry, your paint's dry, everything's dry before you use a micron pen or gel pen, and you'll find you won't wreck them as easily. I could have also done the float technique here to highlight these coffee cups. I grabbed the black micron pen. I want a bit of a thicker line here because the white wasn't going to show up on with the gold. So now I could glue the pillow box together with the gel medium or glue stick, but I'm going to use tape runner. Now I put the coffee cups on the side that have that little cutout part. That gets folded last, and you'll see it later on why that's important. So I just fold this down, do a tape run, and then close it and press. Now, if I wasn't doing it for the camera, I would let that sit and really adhere. But I'm doing it for the camera, so I'm assembling this pillow box right now and curved. And as a result, I had to go back and kind of reseal it a little bit. So you can see it's all very neat and tidy. And this is the perfect size to fit a gift card. And there you go. Stressed, blessed, and coffee obsessed. So here's the one that I didn't put the notch on the right side, and it folds the opposite way. So where you have the picture, it just is kind of opened and it looks a little less neat. So when I sell these, I will have some of them made and displayed as pillow boxes round, but most of them are going to be in packets, probably two together, and they will be flat as they are now. I'm not going to make them into pillow boxes. It's just, it'll take up less room. So if you like this idea, you leave me a comment in the description box below in the comment section. So there's Stressed, Blessed, and Coffee Obsessed. I really like the backs of these. I would buy them more plain. Of course, size matter. Who wants a small coffee? Look at the back. I just love those. And then any kind of gift card. You could put nuts in these. You can put candies in these. You can put little trinkets. Perfect for a stocking stuffer. So if you like these, are going to use these, want to get a hold of me, my email address is creativekatie@gmail.com. If you're looking to buy those sentiment packs, they are $5 Canadian. There's the backs and just a close-up of each one of these four. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more Mixed Media Meets Craft Fair.